Okay. Meanwhile, we're waiting to see what we're going to do next. The fuel pump ground we talked about in the last video. Okay, we're doing more research, and we're going to do something with the fuel pump. But meanwhile, we're going to do an oil change. Okay. This oil, like I said, has been here 14 years. So we don't want to start the engine with 14-year-old oil in it, if we can get it started. Which we will eventually. But anyway, we've got to be positive. So what we're going to do next is we're gonna change the oil. Okay. And then we're going to do a little more research and decide what we're going to do with the truck. Okay, I've been looking at several trucks. Remember I said I was going to get a 98? I was going to find a 98 with this same body style that had a bad engine. Okay. So we're kind of debating on that, and there's a couple of other things we're debating on. Everything works in this truck. This thing's got power mirrors, this thing, power seats, everything works. And the truck's not in bad shape. It was wrecked, but I can repair it, you know. Got a few dings here and there, but I can fix that. So we still got a truck or two we're looking at. And there's one that's not, probably about 2-hour drive from here. They wanted $800, I think it is, and it's got a bad engine. But we have to get it towed. There you're looking at about $300, $400, $350, $400 to have it towed. It's in good shape. Okay. We hadn't gonna look at it. So that's where we are now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the oil in this thing, and we'll do a little more research and go from there. We're fixing to change the oil in the 5.7. That's been sitting forever. It takes a pH 5 Fram filter, but we got an AC Delco we're gonna put on there. PF 1218. Okay. The problem we run into is getting the old filter off. It is extremely on there. Okay. This is the worst I've ever seen. Now, the truck's been sitting for 10 years. So, I finally got the filter off. I really had to work at it. So, I'll show you what I did. And if you run into it, you could do the same thing. Okay. Okay. This is what we had to do to get this filter off. Of course, the first thing I did was go up under there and I tried this wrench. And of course, it was too tight. So then I sprayed some pin. I tapped on the bottom of the filter with a hammer. Tapped all around with a hammer. Tapped all around. Still nothing. Sprayed some penetrating oil around the gasket, around the top. Plate penetrating oil. Went back to this wrench. Still nothing. So I took a strap wrench. I have a strap wrench that I have here, and it's on a ratchet. Okay, so I took the strap wrench and tried that. Now that strap wrench always works great. Okay, still nothing. So then I use the method, the last resort method they call it. Extremely long, big screwdriver with a big old handle. Drove it through the filter. Still wouldn't loosen. Okay. So I just took the hammer and kept beating on it. But beating on a direction that it would come off. So beating it this way. So counterclockwise. So beating it that way, kept beating it, beating and beating. And spraying more penetrating on and beating it. I drove the screwdriver through the filter and drove it all the way through and tried that. And that did not work. So I kept trying all those methods over and over again. And when I went back with the strap wrench is always the best thing, the tool to use. Went back with the strap wrench, I was able to get it loose. But it took all the force I could put on it. It's a pH 5 Ram oil filter, what's left of it. Okay. So that's how we got it off. Like I said, it's been sitting, this truck's been sitting for many years. And that's what I had to do to get it off. So, you got a stock oil filter. You can get it off. It's going to take a little work. But you can get it off. Okay, I'm fixing to go back with the new filter. I've been wiping it clean. And I've got most of it wiped off. But, let me get my light. Okay. It's almost like glue around the edges. And maybe the gasket, it might be past where the gasket's at. But I've wiped most of it off. I've got most of it wiped off. That could have been holding it on. It's just been on here for as long as it has been. Okay. Well, that motor had a brand new flat block put in, or engine. You can see the blue and you can see the grease plug, how brand new it looks. Okay, we're going to finish cleaning that up with some penetrating oil and a rag, and then we're going to go back with the new filter. Okay, let me add this. The places around the outside of the filter, might be hard to see, that had the glue or the varnish on it. Well, the filter doesn't make contact there. Maybe the metal part was stuck against that, I don't know. But, we got her out, we put the new filter back in. So now we're going to put a little oil in her. That's how we removed the hardest filter I've ever seen stuck. Okay, we're going back with 5 quarts of SAE, rather I should say 5W30 Amzol. It's SAE, of course. That's some good oil. So we're going back with that. Finally got the filter changed and got some new oil. Okay, we determined it was the fuel pump. Okay, remember we took the relay, pulled it out, and we bypassed across the terminals and put power directly to the fuel pump, and we got nothing. So then I ran from the battery over there, I ran a wire to the fuel pump terminal on the regulator. Oh, relay. I'm saying regular. Relay. And still nothing. So it's got to be the fuel pump. So now we're going to pull the fuel pump. Now in order to do that, what we're doing, I don't know why people don't do this when they pull the tank. We opted to pull the tank out the bottom. I don't know why people don't siphon the gas out. Okay. Get as much gas as you can out of it. As you see, I'm siphoning gas. Okay. It's, you see it's running into you see little bubbles. Well, it's running into this 5-gallon can. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now, I decided to drop the tank under the truck. Okay. Instead of a lot of people pull the bed or they'll lift one end of the bed up. This is an old truck that's been sitting a long time. So I'm gonna have to deal with all those bolts on the bed. I think it's gonna be easier just to drop the tank. I can jack it up. I got my jacks. Put jack stands under it and change the tank. Now, you can't cut a hole in the bottom of the bed and change the fuel pump like that. I decided not to do that. Okay. That's where we are right now. I'm siphoning the gas out of it. Now, if you look in the videos I've made, I pulled all the old gas out. I took out about 12 gallons, 13 gallons, 14 gallons, something like that. About 14 gallons of old gas. And somewhere I got the old gas. Yeah, here it is. This is the old gas that I pulled out of the tank. Okay. You can see it's got water or something in it. But look at the color of the fuel. That was the old 12 gallons I pulled out and disposed of. Now this is the gas I just siphoned out just now. Okay. It should be a little clearer color to it. That shows me there's still a little trash in the tank. So what we're going to do, we're going to take as much gas as we can out. We should get 15 gallons out of here. Okay. It's a slow process to take it out of there. But I just got a little pump and added a little hose to the end of it to make it long enough to reach to the bottom of the tank. And I took my little torch and heated up the fuel line to stretch it so that I could push this hose into it, and then taped it up with some black tape. So that's where we are right now. And I'm thinking that's the best way to get a weight off the, if I can get at least 10 gallons out of it, I've done something. That's a lot of weight. But I'm thinking I'm gonna get 15 out of it. Because I put 15 gallons of fresh gas in it, thinking I was cleaning out the tank and I was ready to go, but the fuel pump's not working. Now, I got a fuel pump coming in, and it's not a $200 pump. It's actually delivered to my door, same fuel pump. Now you gotta wait a week, but delivered to my door, $50. Now you can't beat that. All right. Now I also ordered, I want to add this, I'm going to change the fuel filter. I was thinking about changing the fuel filter. But what I did, I ordered a fuel filter pump. It replaces the fuel filter, but it's a little pump. But it doesn't put out the 40, 50 pounds of pressure that the regular fuel pump would put out. I was going to try that just to get the truck running and let it idle. So I got that ordered. That was $20, I think, something like that, off of eBay. So I'll put the links to all this stuff. But you can get a fuel pump for $50. Now whether it's going to work for a while, I don't know. But we're just trying to get this old truck running for right now. So that's where we are, siphoning the gas out to lighten up the tank. And like I said, we diagnosed that it was the tank. Now, when you turn your fuel gauge on, you turn your ignition on, and your pull gauge goes all the way past full, that's telling you it's the ground. And like you see the way I tested it, there's no ground on the, when I tested it, there was no ground on the fuel pump. The fuel pump is not showing the ground, it's not grounded. So that could be the problem also. But we're gonna get the gas out of it, we're gonna jack it up, and we're gonna get under there and change the fuel filter, we're gonna play around with it and see if we can get it going before putting a new fuel pump in. And I doubt if we'll get it going, so that's why I ordered a new fuel pump. So that's where we are. Siphoning about 15 gallons of gas out, we hope. Okay, we did get 15 gallons out of the tank. All right, using our rig up we have. Okay, let me see if I can show you. The extra hose added on I was talking about. Okay, this is what I got. I got a little siphon deal, but it wasn't long enough. So I took my torch. Oh, I heated up this end. This hose, this gas. This is some gas hose, and I heated this up and pushed this hose into it. Let's go into the siphoning deal. And I was able to get 15 gallons. Now when I was putting this hose in there, okay, this is pretty heavy hose, it's a fuel hose. It ran into something hard in there. And I have no idea what it was, some kind of check valve I guess, I don't know. I kept pushing. I kept pushing. And I went all the way into the tank. So I don't know if I tore anything up or nothing, but we're gonna find out when we take it all apart. So we got the 15 gallons out. So now we're going to, like I said before, I got a little fuel tank pump, a fuel filter pump, okay, coming in. And I'm going to take that and replace the fuel filter. I got to replace the fuel filter anyway. So I'm going to get a new fuel filter. And when that little pump deal comes in, I'm going to put it where the fuel filter goes, which is right under here. The fuel filter is right under here. Just by the front driver's thing. And if you notice, but I'm no longer in the mud. I moved it over here on the shelf where I can work. And like I said before, we're not going to pull the bed, and we're not going to cut a hole in the bed. We're going to go under the truck and change the fuel pump. Okay, so we're waiting for those parts to come in, and we're going to take it from there.